No, so seriously, guys, it wasn't a turtle. It wasn't a snake. I swear to God, I saw a mini champy. Like, that happened.
No, Nikki. To begin, we were nervous, intimidated even, by how strenuous we thought the trip might be. Upon meeting Jim, one of the first things he told us was that he did not want this trip to be a forced march. A psychological weight was lifted in finding out that our expedition style would be about enjoying the journey and taking the time to learn along the way. Throughout our trip, we learned about paddling, technique, history, science, ourselves, and each other. Jim gave us geology and Lake Champlain history lessons as we stopped for lunch on Long Island. He pointed out the pileated woodpecker hall, the largest woodpecker in North America, and showed us asparagus that was growing wild on Valcour Island. Sydney led group yoga. Tova, who does one of my favorite Steve Manor impressions, which involves beluga whales, also read facts off an oatmeal pouch in the morning while Katie recorded it with the camcorder, PBS style. Nikki and Sydney made me laugh with their random wrestling and enthusiastic paddle dances. Jane's 007 look always made me smile. Allison's teaching, guidance, and willingness to help anyone in our group is also something that I greatly appreciated. Our trip was full of these little details, little moments, which are part of the reason why this trip is memorable and why these experiences are ones that we value. We grew as paddlers, friends, and people.
Everybody in our group was very good at being team players, so we were able to have a solid group. We stayed together when we were paddling and kept each other going with humor, tips, encouragement, and reminders that
We're almost there.
The communication in our group was excellent. That's another reason why we all worked so well together.
Despite the bad things, sore shoulders, wrists, necks, numb limbs, vomit, water-lodged hatches, putting on cold, wet clothes in the morning, and blisters on our hands for those of us that had to wean ourselves from death gripping our paddles, our group dynamic allowed for a great support system, and we made the not-so-enjoyable parts become bearable parts by knowing we had each other. The group was serious and perceptive when we were making plans and decisions, but our group was goofy and fun, which made the trip.
We got up every morning, had breakfast, took down camp, packed up our boats, then met up to discuss our plans and listen to Arnold.
He's the radio weatherman.
We had an intended route that we had decided on the night before, but we would reassess our plan, making adjustments where needed to account for changes in weather conditions, deriving our final plan while being mindful of safety, capability, timing, and practicality. Also, in route planning, we considered factors that affect waves, which are wind velocity, duration, and fetch, which is, according to NOAA's definition, the across-water distance over which waves are generated by winds having an approximate constant direction and speed. We made our route plan work for us, making adjustments as needed because we know that the forecast is not the nowcast. We decided on our course, heading, and bearing as a group, then paddled on.
The best way to learn is by teaching. Jim and Allison orchestrated exercises with our group throughout the trip so that we could practice good paddling and paddle stroke techniques. The following paddle strokes were reviewed on this trip: sweep stroke, bow rudder, stern rudder, high and low brace, which we had to use in 4-foot waves, forward and backward stroke, basic draw, and sculling draw. On the last day, after having gone over the key points of each stroke, each student member of our group was selected to perform and go over the key points of a paddle stroke.
This trip was one of many stepping stones on the staircase to us becoming expeditionary people. The unique thing about the Expeditionary Studies major is that not only do we learn in classroom settings, but that a great amount of our studies are experiential. For instance, we could read all day about packing a kayak, but the knowledge gained by having 5 days on Lake Champlain where you're packing and unpacking a kayak every day is really how you learn the beginnings of how to efficiently pack a kayak. Everything about this major is practical and applicable to what we want to do with our lives. Right now, we are planning on doing things we've only ever dreamed of before, places we've only seen pictures of, places we've dreamed of going, or places we will be going within the next 6 months. The Expeditionary Studies program is making our dreams become realities, and the same can be said for many other individuals in the Expeditionary Studies department. We thank you for watching our presentation, and we hope that you've learned something from it. In the words of Larry Soroka, dream on.
Hard as I can to understand this running in circles got me wondering. I don't know why I'm paying any mind. Maybe I'm blind. How will we know if we don't even try? Ever since the 9th of July to the day that I fade into night. light in the sky, cause I never wanna be the thing you hear many say. Like I could've been, I should've been, but never did it anyway. Living day to day, a nickel spend a penny safe. Feeling homeless, always looking for some change. Change of mind, my mind is gone, I want it back. Train wreck, rapper, keep my life on the track. Anyone is everyone and anything is everything, and no one is a nobody, I know it in my brain. Heard a wise man say, and I